Okay, we're going to jump into this shooting breakdown with a side by side at the same time. Now, they're not completely in sync. The speed of our shot is slightly different, but the point of this is that you can see your shot from the beginning to the end and mine and be able to look back and forth to see what's similar and what's different. Make sure when you watch this video you keep coming back to this and don't be afraid to use the pause button and rewind and just really take your time to analyze the video as a complete shot as it goes through. Now I slowed down a lot of these reps because very important that you view your shot in slow motion so that you can see every little detail that you need to see. Okay, now we're going to take a look at just your shot, and here's one time in regular speed, then we're going to slow it down. But four things I really want you to focus on are the hanging foot, which means your foot is in the air after the ball hits your hands. Next thing is this collapsing knee. Look how your knee, right knee bends in and it loses alignment with the ball and the rim and all that stuff. Now the ball tends to cross your body from right pocket to left pocket and then gets up to your left shoulder. So we're going to work on keeping that ball right pocket, right shoulder, not crossing the body. And then the fourth key point is holding your follow through stronger and longer. You don't want to take your hands off the target or twist or turn or flop and drop. So for key points number 1 and 2 we talked about a few seconds ago. We're going to look at the strength of stance. One thing you really want to concentrate on is catching the ball strong before it hits your hands, having your feet set, being on balance in every direction, and being low, wide, and strong so that when the ball does hit your hand, you don't have to take that step to the side to be able to gather yourself to get momentum and power. So there are two things that really make someone's shot strong is the strength of stance and then keeping the ball tight to your body. The further the ball gets off your body, the weaker you're going to and slower you're going to be with it. So you want to make sure you tuck that ball in tight and hold it snug and secure to your body and not offer it out in front of you to the defense. Now taking a look here at the front view, you want to make sure you keep that ball in your right pocket like we talked about before. Don't want the ball to cross your body. So if that ball can remain right pocket, right shoulder, then released above your head instead of going from point 1, right pocket to left shoulder, and then back across, you'll save a lot of time and you'll be a lot more efficient. The ball will also continue on a straighter path way more often. Now we move on to the point in your shot where you're starting to bring the ball up, and you can see here as the ball's almost at your left shoulder as it crosses your body, your right elbow tends to pop off your body and stick out a little bit. And if you look at your shooting hand, you can see it's a little bit on the side of the ball, where if you look at mine, the elbow is in tighter and the shooting hand is right behind the ball. Another key in having power and ability to display range in your shot is not raising up too early. Raising up too early forces your upper body to do too much work. As you see here, you're a little bit more straight up and down, a little bit earlier than I am. And when you raise up too early, you tend to shoot more of a line drive type shot. So you make sure you want to stay bent a little bit longer, like a coiled spring that's ready to explode a little bit later in your shot. Now we're going to look at alignment of the ball and the body. You want to make sure that knee stays square to the basket, your hips, your elbow. Right here you can see everything's starting to cross your body and lean to the left. You want to make sure you go straight up and down and get that elbow under the ball a little bit tighter. Now at this point in your shot, the ball starts to make its trip back to the right side and it really gets to the middle right here. And because of this, you're going to release it a little bit lower and you're going to block your vision just a little bit. So we're going to work on opening up that shooting window so you can see a little bit better, more, and a little bit longer. Now if you go back to the beginning of the video and you see where your release point is at, it's actually pretty good. You do get it high above your head. It just takes time to get there. So your release point is good and your guide hand is really good too. It does its job. It guides the ball and your shooting hand shoots it. So as far as your hands working together, that's excellent, and your release point is nice and high. Holding your follow through stronger and longer is key in aim and accuracy when shooting. So make sure you do not drop and flop your arms. You want to stay connected to the target a little bit longer. Make sure you keep your hands up firm and in tight. Okay, now the last thing I want to take a look at and talk about is finishing strong and landing strong. You see here, I stay in a follow through, straight up and down, hold my follow through type of position a little bit longer. You tend to drift back and drop and flop, so you want to make sure you go straight up and down and land on balance.